Hopefully back again.
I am going to refresh. Oh, yep. We are back again. We are back again.
Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate everyone for tuning in through that short technical break. Should be able to all be put together for the YouTube upload, but appreciate all the support. Of course, I don't believe that was us. I believe that was a Twitch.
No, it was a Twitch backend because I experienced it on PC, Mac OS X, and iOS. So, yeah, it was the Twitch backend. But thank you all for your patience and thank you for being here tonight.
Indeed, appreciate all the support.
I gotta tell you, pardon me, I knew already they're being aggressive as much as he can.
Quite a size over his opponent as well.
Well, I was going to comment on that. Now I don't have the official weight stats in front of me, but you can tell physically by looking at these two gentlemen, these two competitors in the ring right now. Cheng Yu and Tomohiro Ishii have there is a delta there.
Looks like he's got a good half a foot on Ishii.
The thing is, too, is that Cheng Yu seems to have, by appearance, a better, how do I say this? If we were to talk about muscle mass, I think Cheng Yu I could be wrong about this, I'm not a doctor, but Cheng Yu's appearance appears that he has more muscle mass, at least in the upper torso area.
It does certainly seem a bit more fine-tuned, if that's the word you'd like to use.
I like to use a lot of words, but they don't always come out as clearly as they sound in my head.
That's completely understandable. I thank everybody for tuning in. Need to get this match back in the ring, as the referee was up to the 7.
They're very close to the end there. Great way to get back into the ring. Keep this match on track. Nobody wants to see a faulty finish.
Of course, these two men were battering each other during that little technical break.
Yeah, we apologize for that.
Spelled disaster.
Although, I will say, I've been doing commentary on Twitch and working on Twitch, broadcasting on Twitch long enough to see that whatever technical issue we just experienced, which was clearly a Twitch backend, was not the worst that it could have been. Cheng Yu really giving the business here to Tomohiro. I find it appropriate that Cheng Yu's belt is red.
Indeed.
And I say that because I took karate as a kid, and typically your last 3 belts are red, brown, and then black. But Cheng Yu is from China. Hello? Red, right? So he's representing a lot here tonight. Both these competitors have a lot to prove. Japan obviously being a holy land of wrestling, thinking about the Tokyo Dome and everything that's happened there. But Cheng Yu and Tomohiro both have a lot to prove here. Everybody has a lot to prove here tonight. It's the inaugural night of Eclipse Pro Wrestling.
And that kick to the gut at the end of that fantastic combination puts the end to Tomohiro Ishii's night.
I gotta tell you though,
Cheng Yu had just the extra amount of intensity needed.
Great matchup though. Again, pardon for the interruption there, but one hell of a match between Cheng Yu and Tomohiro Ishii. Look, the better man won. That's all that it is, plain and simple. There's no other way to put it.
Certainly seems that way as we head into our next match, which I believe is the many-faced heel,
Yes.
Infamous, taking on Chad Gable.
This is going to see, when I look at this match, I'm sorry. I respect Chad Gable because Chad Gable has a very strong amateur wrestling background. This guy is Olympic caliber wrestling, Chad Gable. But when you're going up against a guy like Many-Faced Heel, who has, compared to Chad Gable, a considerable and significant delta in his favor when it comes to size and physical prowess and strength, I see this as a domination and subjugation of Chad Gable via the likes of Many-Faced Heel, but only time will tell.
Of course, should be very interesting. Of course, Many-Faced Heel, quite similar, got quite the experience in catch wrestling, but got a significant, and I mean significant, difference in muscle mass compared to Chad Gable.
Well, that's the thing, but you know what? It's a double-edged sword, if you want my opinion, because even though Many-Faced Heel has the size, has the height, has the weight, Chad Gable has that Greco-Roman style amateur history, that Olympic caliber wrestling know-how and acumen, and his smaller size could be an arrow in his quiver, an ace in his pocket, an arrow in his feather to potentially outpace Many-Faced Heel.
Could very well. Just have to see how it goes.
Let's see how this goes indeed. I am definitely excited for this. I've seen Many-Faced Heel in so many great matches before, as I could say the same exact thing about Chad Gable. I think this is going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a battle of brawn versus wit, and not to say anything negative about Chad Gable. When I say wit, I mean that positively.
No. Is that Killer Cross?
What? Oh my God! What? What the hell is this?
Killer Cross attacking the Many-Faced Heel.
But why? Oh, look at that boot to the face.
Both these men just going to lather each other here on the stageway.
Another preemptive strike, but I guess my question to you is, what's the motive here? I mean, what is Killer Cross? What is? I just don't understand.
Well, Cross and Many-Faced Heel have a lot in common. Even just looking at close at their tattoos, very similar. Taking a lot of inspiration from Killer Cross. Maybe Killer Cross isn't too interested in having imitation.
I think that's a very good argument. I would say that, look at this. He's basically, we haven't even seen Chad Gable yet. Look at this. This is just...
I don't know if Chad Gable's coming down with these two behemoths beating the crap out of each other right here.
I'll tell you what, if I was Chad Gable, I'd be keeping myself backstage.
Killer Cross is clearly delivering a message here. Not interested in the Many-Faced Heel.
Wow!
And his antics.
Did we just see that? That was unbelievable. That was the last thing that I expected to see. I was expecting... Wow! Well, I guess the story's not over.
Directed backstage by officials. Now, the show must go on, as we have the Silhouettes of Redemption taking on none other than Bullet Club in ELP, El Phantasmo, and Taiji Ishimori.
Let's talk about this for a second because, tonight's obviously the first Eclipse Pro Wrestling card and matchup, but or matchup, but this is the first tonight here ever in history. So we saw the women's division represent, and now we're seeing the tag division represent, and I'm looking for silhouettes of redemption to redeem and to absolutely control the likes of Bullet Club here.
And again, we have another David versus Goliath match with Dez and Drevak of Silhouettes of Redemption towering and having a much greater size advantage over Bullet Club.
I'll tell you what, I know Drek very well. He's a great guy, great competitor. I've seen him singles. I've seen him in tag. Absolutely great competitor. Dez is a relentless competitor as well. I think this is going to be one hell of a match. Yes, Undisputed Ghost, I know what you're saying.
Oh. I'm great at the pronunciation. Thanks.
It's all good, friend. It's all good. What we do know is we're going to see one hell of a matchup here. And
I'll just refer to him as the Green Mask guy. See how he goes that way.
the Green Mask guy.
I kid Dravak.
No, but
again, I butchered it. I'm butchering it. I'll study up for next week.
It's fine. Let's call it language barrier. El Phantasmo and Ishimori representing the Bullet Club in this matchup between the Silhouettes of Redemption, a.k.a. SOR, Dez, and Drek are going to, in my opinion, I think, you said David and Goliath. I'm looking for an upset here. I see SOR coming out with the W. To make their impression felt. SOR gets a W here against the likes of El Phantasmo and Ishimori. That's a very big step for Silhouettes of Redemption when it comes to the hierarchy of the tag team division.
Indeed, they just have a presence about them when you see them come to the ring.
Absolutely. Dez and Drek both looking very determined here as we see Bullet Club make their impression felt.
Of course, Bullet Club making their way down to the ring now as well. ELP rocking a modified version of Chris Jericho's glowing jacket.
Yes, it is definitely has a, how do you say, sense of vibrance to it, if I may. Definitely going to be one hell of a kickoff match for the tag team division here at Pro Eclipse Wrestling. Look at this. And you know what? I got to respect SOR here because SOR did the right thing here. They slipped out of the ring at first, and they allowed Bullet Club to do their entrance. Very respectful. Dez kicking it off here for SOR. Oh, Dez with the not taking any care for his repercussions or consequences. Just literally, oh!
Indeed, certainly seems like Dez is a man on a mission.
But yeah, he came out of the gates. I mean, absolutely aggressive, especially going after both parties here. And kick off to this tag team match here. It's all about when do you tag in your partner? When is the appropriate time? When do you perform that tandem maneuvering? We're going to see that here in this matchup here.
Indeed. Two experts in two very different styles here. Taiji Ishimori getting his revenge on Dez.
Yeah, well, Dez came into this match a little arrogant, I'm not going to lie. Still kind of going for it, and that's his attitude. Dez just really doesn't care. Kind of does what he wants, kind of gets him in trouble sometimes, says stupid things sometimes. You know, he's an outspoken character. Look at this maneuvering by Dez, though, against El Phantasmo.
Whoa, the Canadian Destroyer from ELP.
And that's going to hurt. It always does. But I got to tell you, that was actually a faster build up to Dez getting back up. Uh-oh. Oh, jackknife powerbomb by Dez the Destroyer. There's a great opportunity to tag in Drek, and there he is. There's Drek. There's Drek. Let it happen.
He's bending ELP in ways that he does not want to bend.
Wow. Very good maneuvering. Oh, looks like I expected Phantasmo to potentially do a tag
Bloody
there.
Mary.
Very well executed by Drek. Wow.
So it just backfired there, taking off the turnbuckle.
I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbors. I hear them in my headset. So if you hear them, I sure do apologize.
Now it's Drek versus Taiji Ishimori. Two of the fresher men in the match.
Just to get a little history, Drek's name is a South Slavic name. Has a couple different names, but it means the screamer or the screecher. Quite a competitor. Everything that I've seen him do, singles or tag, has been absolutely phenomenal. A great competitor. I think that's what part of what makes SOR so great is this unlikely combination of these two competitors with Dez and Drek. And pardon me for
very interesting to see two very different styles coming out from two men of relatively the same size.
Well, yeah, and I got to tell you, it's been a pretty even match. I mean, there hasn't been what I call an offensive drive per se.
Certainly seems like Drek is confident.
Drek definitely has every reason to be confident. I think Dez and SOR, I think Bullet Club has every reason to be confident. I mean, look, this is a very good matchup here, but again, this is the first tag team match in Eclipse Pro Wrestling history, and there's a lot to be gained.
Jeez, another. Oh, over. Drek showing off his power, just using Taiji Ishimori as a ragdoll now.
You know, it's funny because Drek says that there's no V in his name, but I think it depends on your interpretation of the term. If it's like Danish or Australian or Chinese, it's pronounced differently than it is in English.
We're seeing here some kind of sharpshooter from Dez. Could we see a submission victory?
Very close to the ropes, though. Very close to the ropes. Would love to see him.
Ishimori doesn't find the rope, but finds Dez's leg.
That was a close one, actually. And what a maneuver there. Dez staying on top. Wow, with that DDT.
Does not seem like Bullet Club has really been able to get off a solid flurry of offense.
Yeah, I was just double checking because I was looking at the name. I always call him Drek because you know, I mean, but it's funny if you actually look it up and you look at the pronunciation. Depending on your language, the pronunciation of the name will be different.
Oh no, it's lining up for something here. Cardiac collision.
There you go. That's that is symphony. That was music to my ears, even though I saw it with my eyes, my friend. That cardiac collision maneuver of Silhouettes of Redemption never fails. Where's the ref? There he goes. Dez on the outside. Dez. There we go.
Dez playing defense, keeping Taiji Ishimori just distracted enough for the 3 count there.
What a great match that was.
Silhouettes of Redemption.
Love that cardiac collision maneuver between the two because, in my opinion, Dez and Drek, while they have a lot in common, have their differences. Not personally, but just wrestling styles and personas and whatever. But that cardiac collision, there you see the replay again, it just hits, and it hits so well, and it gets the victory. Congratulations to SOR, making their impression felt. The first victory in the tag team division of Eclipse Pro Wrestling, my friend.
Indeed. It was up to me that be set for big things here in Eclipse Pro.
Time will tell. Time will tell. But definitely a good start to SOR and a great start to the tag team division. And we are not done, ladies and gentlemen. We still have more action coming your way right now on Twitch at Eclipse Pro Wrestling.
Indeed. Heading into our semi-main event, we have Tommaso Omega, the Spartan, taking on Dominik Dijakovic.
This is going to be a good match. I mean, my initial instinct is to go Dominik, but that's like my gut kind of talking, but my heart tells me that Tommaso Omega is going to outperform, outpace, out-wrestle, and out-maneuver Dijakovic here.
Could very well. Of course, not only is this going to be a good match, this is a #1 contendership spot. Whoever wins this match will be going to New Moon as the #1 contender to the Solar Championship.
It's going to be, and there you go, right there. You said it so well. There is something on the line. I mean, in my opinion, every single match tonight has had something on the line. Bragging rights, historic rights, whatever you want to call it, inaugural wins. But this match leads to the potential for it, like you said, the championship, right? So, going to be one hell of a match. And that's why I consider Tommaso in this case as sort of like a wild card.
Indeed. Seen him previously, but is still a threat, no matter where. Gone through all his trials, fully adorned in his armor now. He is ready for anything.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he can be as adorned as he wants in that armor, but the fact is that when that bell rings, it's a whole different ball of wax. But not to take anything away from Omega, because I know Tommaso Omega has talent, has skill, has the competitive drive, has the ambition, has the know-how. But it's going to be one hell of a match here where he's going up It's gonna have a lot to prove. Tell you what, though, fans have been on their feet consistently. Love it. The crowd loves it. Chicago loves it. The Windy City loves it. The only thing I do not like about Chicago, and I am sorry, Chicago, because I love your city, but your pizza, I don't know.
How did I know that that was going to be the thing? That's the one.
Because
it's the deep dish pizza. That's the thing.
It's not that deep dish pizza is bad, because deep dish pizza is good. I mean, made with quality ingredients. But New York style pizza, come on. I mean, if you can't fold it, don't eat it.
Do you want your pizza a pancake or a pie, I guess?
Actually, the last time I ate a pizza, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, I had a New York style, because I live in Manhattan. I had an 18-inch pizza, and I ate it all by myself. I was sick for like 2 days after I ate it. I ate too much pizza.
Well, as you can see, the Spanish announce team at the ringside tables doing a whole lot of not much.
Well,
even
I'll tell
they
you what.
do not have words for Tommaso Omega.
I mean, if history is any indication, the Spanish announce table is specifically reserved for being used as a weapon.
Well, not only that, we've got a spare table as well. So we have the Spanish announce team on the desk, and then a spare table, just to spare the poor Spanish announce team the desk.
Well, I think that's smart, and I respect that.
That's why you see no one at that empty table.
Yeah,
now we have Dijakovic.
I was going to ask you about that.
Ring.
Don't put anything past Dijakovic. Dijakovic, one hell of a
Very
competitor.
solemn coming to the ring. Not the flashing lights, but even is tuning everything out.
You know, his demeanor says it all, and you can see it on his face as you described. I think he's in the zone, and I think he's had... I'll tell you what, at this point in the card, anybody is watching backstage, right? So people like what we're seeing here right now with this match, I think that they know that more now than ever they have something to prove.
Okay, I've got a question to pose to you.
Sure.
Does having a number one contendership on the debut show make you vulnerable? Hear me out here.
Sure, go ahead.
Because if you have to show what you can do on the first show, you've got your opponent's got all the way until that pay-per-view, and they have to show very little of what they can do.
I would say this. I think that no matter what, if you have a number one contendership, whether it's a match or you are the number one contender, you always have a sharpshooter on the back of your head. I think that everyone's gunning for you at that point.
Of course, here in Eclipse Pro Wrestling, the number one contendership right can be defended. Not only do you have to earn your place, but you have to hold it.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, that makes a whole world of difference. Not only you have to defend it, you have to hold it, you have to carry it. And to me, a good champion carries any title with prestige. But to reflect on your question, talking about contendership, I mean, it is a constant competitive landscape when you're talking about contendership here at Pro Eclipse Wrestling or any promotion.
Indeed. Seeing a lot of agility from both men here early on.
Well, and I'll tell you what,
Spinebuster.
I am loving this ring design. I have not yet mentioned it, but the ring design, I am just enamored. I am smitten. I think it's very well done. I love the ropes. The crowd is excited. The Windy City of Chicago is bustling tonight, my friend.
It does seem that both men doing everything they can. Tommaso Omega on the outside now after that hellacious spear through the ropes. Tasting the stairs. Still anyone's match here.
It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time we saw somebody eat steel steps.
Seems that both these men willing to do anything for that #1 contendership spot.
Check your DM.
Once again, is a #1 contendership match. They have every reason to be throwing everything they can be.
Every reason to. I mean, especially when there's so much on the line. And I'm telling you, I said it at the beginning of this match. Tommaso, in my opinion, is the... Oh, my God. Dominik got it. Wow. Unbelievable. What a total debacle.
Indeed. Tommaso Omega is not going to be pleased with that. Not in the slightest.
So, let me tell you something. I did not expect that at all. I really thought that we were going to see something extraordinary coming out of the likes of Tommaso. And you know what? It's not the end of the world. Undisputed Ghost. Feast your eyes!
Indeed.
What a matchup, though, and good for Dominik. You know what? I tell you what. You know what? You can always want someone to win a match. You can always hope to want to see some kind of upset. But at the end of the day, the victor is the better person in that match at that moment, at that time, in that ring, in that squared circle. And at this moment, Dom is the guy who is that person. So congratulations to him.
Of course, as I mentioned before, will and may very well have to defend that #1 contendership right. Have to see what the GM says after the show. However, we have to move on to our main event.
Oh yeah, let's do this, baby.
None other than an 8-man battle royal to determine the first champion in Eclipse Pro.
Yeah. We have an 8-man battle royale to crown the inaugural Comet Champion. Several participants here: GAB, Slade Wilson, AJ Manuel, Mr. R, Mr. Blind, Ronan, Tommy Demise. I think I'm missing someone.
Ronan.
No, I mentioned him. Oh, the Sir.
Yeah. The Sir, indeed.
One hell of a main event.
Speaking of the Sir,
It's
just
time!
tuning in as well. Of course, just in time for your main event.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Such a pleasure to have you here with us. Thank you for joining. Everybody who's listening, watching, thank you for joining. You make us happy. We're trying to make you happy, providing entertainment. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to doing this every week and providing a lot of fun and entertainment for everybody. So thank you all. Let's kick off this main event. A lot of names in this matchup here. A lot of competition here. I mean,
Just want to extenuate how much of a blindside that spinning elbow was that put down Tommaso Omega. I'm sure that if that contendership right has to be defended, that he is going to be one of the first in line to want to challenge for it again.
So Shella, let me ask you this, and this is for the people watching. We were talking about the previous match, with Tommaso Omega and Dominik about number one contendership for the Solo Championship. Now, this is an 8-man battle royal for the Comet Champion, the Comet Championship. So, do you maybe want to take a minute and explain the titles?
Of course, our World Championship is none other than the Eclipse Championship. We have the Solar Championship that will be roughly equivalent of a United States or Intercontinental title. And then we have the Comet Championship that will be defended on the weekly show every so often. This champion will be the Workhorse Champion.
And that's what's great about any promotion. And thank you for that, because, I knew that information, but I thought it was worth talking about, because we were talking about number one contenderships in the previous match, and obviously this main event being a huge inaugural Battle Royale for the Comet Championship. So it just helps put things into perspective. But this is going to be one hell of a match. This is very, very competitive match.
We'll also get to see all the entrances of some of your favorites here right now as AJ Manuel makes his way down to the ring.
I got to tell you, I have nothing but respect for AJ. I think that his promo work, his work outside of this promotion, has been absolutely phenomenal. You can make the same argument about some of the other competitors we saw tonight: SOR, Tommaso, Daniel Cole. I just am looking forward to seeing how he stands up, AJ, is what I'm talking about in this case, with the competition. Again, it's an 8-man battle royale. So that means you have, and I'm not going to get into Steiner math, but you have, let's just assume, a 1/8 chance of winning, right? So ultimately, the odds are against everyone.
I've just got a huge announcement from the general manager.
Let's hear it.
Dominik Dijakovic will be defending his number one contendership right in next week's main event. But not just against Omega, but also against the winner of a mammoth match between Caden Cross and Braun Strowman.
Wow! Okay. Well, I gotta tell you, as a spectator / commentator / journalist, that is going to be one hell of a matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Fans, everybody watching, we're gonna promote the hell out of this, because that's gonna be one hell of a matchup.
Indeed, should be huge.
That's what she said.
Christ. Of course, talking about people in this match, Tommy DeMise making his way to the ring, very out there.
I gotta tell you, this is a great vision of Tommy DeMise. I have had Dez has had very, very many run-ins with Tommy DeMise, and this is the Tommy DeMise that Dez knows. As a commentator and journalist who follows wrestling, this is very much him. I see Tommy DeMise potentially taking this entire Battle Royale if his demeanor and ring presence and entrance reflects his performance in the ring.
course, just recapping for anyone that just tuned in, next week's main event has been set. It is Dominik Dijakovic defending his #1 contendership right against Tommaso Omega, who we blindsided earlier tonight. And also in this mix in triple threat action, the winner of a match next week between Caden Cross and Braun Strowman.
One hell of a main event that's going to be. And I'll tell you what, Shelly, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because every single week it's going to be complete pandemonium, complete unexpected, spontaneous or spontaneity, great wrestling, great action. Look, this is all about fun. This is all about entertainment. This is all about classic wrestling. You're in the right place right now with Eclipse Pro Wrestling, and I'm happy to be here.
Indeed. Ronan making his way down to the ring, decked out in full plate. In the
Definitely so.
Samurai style.
Pseudo, yeah, it's very samurai style. It's unfortunate, though, because well, it's a double-edged sword always, right? The answer is always, it depends. He wears this well, because
Indeed.
his in-ring performance matches his spectacle. It matches his stage presence. You don't see many wrestlers sporting that style, and he does it well. So more power to him. But he's in for a rude awakening if he thinks he's going to get over in this match very easily with the likes of the people we have in this card for this 8-man Battle Royale.
Of course, GAV now making his way down to the ring.
He's looking peppy. He looks like he has a little kick in his step, a twinkle in his eye, if you will. Not necessarily a bad thing either. It's all about state of mind and consciousness and mind over matter. Seems very confident, seems very sure of himself here, and fans are loving it. But time will tell if this fanfare can produce a victory for him.
Indeed.
Fans on their feet here in the windy city of Chicago. Beautiful city. If you've never been to Chicago, you should go. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful city. Stay out of South Chicago, maybe. North Chicago is where the Cubs play. South Chicago is where the White Sox play. South Chicago is pretty ghetto. North Chicago is pretty nice. Everybody you meet's very nice people. Very interesting city, very much like New York, where you can walk a block down the street and be in a completely different neighborhood. Here we go. Here now comes out the Sir.
Indeed. Sporting a very Dusty Rhodes-inspired get-up from the look of it.
Oh! Sir Jess, I didn't know. Sir Jess, are you from Chicago? I guess so. That's awesome. Every time I've been to Chicago, I've absolutely North Side, born and raised. Okay. Every time I've been to Chicago, I fly into O'Hare. I take the blue line, I think it is, to get to where I'm going. I absolutely love Chicago. The one thing I find weird about Chicago is that, like, I live in New York, right, in Manhattan, and the bars, well, I don't go to bars now because of COVID, but they were open till 4 a.m. But in Chicago, very liberal city, some bars are open till 4 a.m., but you have to have a special license to be open till 4 a.m. So if you're bar hopping in Chicago, many bars will be closed, some will be open. but it's a beautiful city. I think the Fire did itself a favor because it's a cleaner, more industrialized looking New York City, very clean. The L is a beautiful manifestation of what a train should be. I love Chicago.
It's just now in the ring. Very unique presence.
Absolutely. You can definitely tell. Fans loving it. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for our inaugural Eclipse Pro Wrestling. We appreciate it. We really do. Look, we're just trying to have fun, and we want to, and who doesn't want to have fun? So thank you for joining us in this journey. Here we go. The next extra into this 8-man. Who is
none other than Mr. R making his way down to the ring.
Mr. R making his impression felt. Look at the look on his face. Shall we look at the look on his face? My God.
The first time seeing him without that anonymous mask.
My goodness. I gotta tell you, I sat here next to the table with you all night. And Mr. R, his expression, that morose look at this. Look at this electrifying entrance.
A sudden change in composure here. Now jaunting with the crowd.
Crowd's loving it. Mr. R is building it up. This is going to be one hell of a main event. Hey, look, he's got a little bit of style and skill there, too. Oh, okay.
Paying homage to some of the best to ever grace the wrestling world.
Very great agility, just expressed in his ring presence, or what I call stage presence alone. Electrifying competitor, no question about it. Love the pyro, love the presence. Mr. R. Wow. You have to take a step back and just adore it. I mean, this is a man who, I always talk about showmanship, pre-match showmanship, and pre-match showmanship is not a bad thing. Because
it's not about the money; it's about sending a message.
Right. It's about telling a story. It's about projecting your brand as a competitor. And what I just got from what I just saw is that Mr. R doesn't take shit, and Mr. R is going to be a very heavy competitor in this match. And here we go.
Now we
Mr.
have
Blind
train with Mr. Blind rolling in.
Love Mr. Blind. Have nothing but respect for Mr. Blind. Great man, great competitor, great track record. Absolutely phenomenal competitor. Great contribution to the roster here at Eclipse Pro Wrestling, Shelly.
Indeed. Just vibing down to the ring.
Taking his impression felt. Scheller, I gotta tell you, look at his. I mean, it's just Scheller. He looks so confident, and you know what? It's that confidence that's gonna go a long way for him.
It was unpredictable in an 8-man over-the-top rope battle royal. Never know what can happen.
Well, I gotta tell you what. I've been sitting next to you at the table. Oh, here we go. Let's kick this off.
Indeed.
Wow, unbelievable. Tommaso already trying to make his impression felt and failed. Mr. R trying to take the moves on Ronan there. Wow, this is a lot of action to call.
Just bedlam.
I like to call it pandemonium. We got ourselves a great deal of talent in the ring right now. Again, this is for those tuning in, for those who may not have been following. We're talking about an 8-man Battle Royale to crown the inaugural Comet Champion of Eclipse Pro Wrestling. Thank you all for joining in this phenomenal and stellar main event.
Indeed. I don't know what can happen in such a situation.
I mean, it's basically like going to Vegas or any casino and playing roulette or playing craps. You never know what you're gonna get. And here's the thing: is that again we go back to Scott Steiner math. I mean, yeah, there's 8 people here, but is it really a 1/8 chance? I mean, that's the simplistic, elementary, statistic way to look at it. But oh, there we go.
Ronan eliminating GAV, it seems.
That's what I'm saying. Before I could even finish my sentence, we've already had an evolution to this match, right? A progression to this match, Scheller. So it's like, Scheller, if this is going to continue, it's going to be a continuous, unforgiving, unknowing, spontaneous match.
Oh no, there's Tommy Demise over the top rope, courtesy of the Sir.
Wow, Demise. I gotta tell you, don't hold anything behind Demise. Demise is a great competitor, but you know what? When you only have 1/8 chance, look at this.
The Sir getting his workout in the middle of the match.
Wow,
Really
and look
got a
at
bit
that
of showmanship about him.
Great matchup so far. Oh my God, that is unbelievable. Pardon me. Mr. R needs to get his head back in the game. Of all the competitors that came into the... stop showboating, please. Spare me. But Mr. R needs to get his head back in the game. And it looks like he is as he goes up and assaults Mr. Blind there in that corner turnbuckle. Looking like he's trying to eliminate him. Can he do it? He's close. Oh! Oh, no! Mr. Blind is able to defend.
Looked like Mr. Sir was... The Sir was looking for a shot on Ronan, but ended up hitting Mr. R with that super kick.
Wow! Oh, Mr. R! What? Oh! I'm sorry. I thought Mr. R was about to get his pink slip. And oh! 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 Are you kidding me? Wow! Unbelievable! Mr. R with the perseverance, the tenacity, the ambition to survive that near elimination attempt.
Jesus, the chokeslam by Mr. R over the top rope. There goes Ronan.
There he goes. Done. And I tell you what, there you see the replay. What a matchup this has been, Scheller.
Hell position. Mr. R could be saying goodbye.
Is it? No, no, they can't. It is! Hey, oh my God! You have got to be freaking kidding me.
We're down to 2 with Mr. Blind eliminated. It's down to AJ Manuel and the Sir.
I'm going with the Sir here. I love AJ. I have nothing but respect for AJ. But I think AJ's been a little overconfident. He's been successful, yes, in this matchup, but he's been a little overconfident. There he goes. He misses with the super kick. Here we go. Boom! Oh! Reversal. Oh, double reversal. Triple reversal.
Oh no! AJ! And the Sir becomes the inaugural Comet Champion.
What a matchup. What an ending to that matchup. A literal triple reversal is what we just saw there. That was absolutely phenomenal. The Sir earns it. He deserves it. Congratulations to the Sir, who is from Chicago, apparently.
Aloft above his head, proudly.
Winning it in his hometown of the Windy City of Chicago. Congratulations.
You can just hear the hometown pop for the Sir.
Absolutely. What a phenomenal match. That was great outing by the Sir. Look at that belt. Look at that. That belt is absolutely beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolutely phenomenal main event to tonight's Eclipse Pro Wrestling inaugural broadcast. Absolutely stellar.
Indeed. Please tune in next week for more Eclipse. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And as we said, that huge main event triple threat next week to see if Dominik Dijakovic can retain his #1 contendership right.
Let's see. Only time will tell.
I've been David Scheller.
And I have been Steven Anderson.
Thank you for tuning in, and please tune in next week. For us, that is all. Good night.